Hey guys, how y'all doing today? My name is Franchise Fanatic and welcome back to the channel. And today, for you guys, is another movie review. Today we're tackling the latest DCEU film and possibly the last, at least chronologically, The Flash. Now, first of all, thank you to Echo Killshot for making the thumbnail. Pretty freaking cool. And also, if you enjoy this video, make sure to subscribe. There's probably a lot of you guys that watch this either just in passing or genuinely enjoy watching me and are not subscribed. So make sure to do that as well as leave a like. It really does help the, not only me, but also the YouTube algorithm. But you know how to do that stuff. It's quick, it's free, it's fun. You're pushing a red button, and I think it turns white. It's going to be awesome, so do it. Thanks. But anyway, so The Flash is... oh boy. So, look. It's hard to talk about this because upon going into this movie, right, it's weird. I love the DCEU, okay? I know everyone on the internet is like, oh, it's shit, or oh, it's bad, or it sucks, it's horrible. You know, I love Man of Steel. I love Batman v Superman. I love Suicide Squad. Wonder Woman is whatever. Shazam is good, I guess. You know, so there's some that are better than others. Black Adam was fine. And this one I was expecting to be a pile of dog cheeks. It turns out that it is not. In fact, it's actually really friggin' good. Now, I do have to do a little bit of a disclaimer before I begin. Ezra Miller had a lot of controversy in real life leading up to this film. I won't talk on it too much, but I just want to let you know that I don't condone or agree with what Ezra Miller has done. Well, what's he doing? Well, besides being a complete friggin' weirdo, like looking like a Barbie doll in real life, wearing mushroom costumes, he clearly has mental problems. When you're kidnapping and grooming young women, you're going to Hawaii and beating up women in bars. You're starting cults in Iceland with assault rifles. So maybe some of this is BS. I don't really care to look into it. This is what I hear. If it's true, I think genuinely Ezra should either be in a jail cell or in the earth. But at the same time, look, I'm not going to make this review, oh, Ezra this and Ezra this. And, you know, look, he's a bad person. He's a really, really bad person. And he doesn't deserve to be acting. But because he's LGBTQ, ABC, 1, 2, 3, whatever all that is, I don't really know the whole thing. And I'm assuming he's Democrat. He's allowed to stay in charge. That's it. I mean, that's the truth. You know, I mean, if he was a white, straight dude, Republican, he'd be fired in a second. But that's the way the world works. Sadly, everything is political now. This video is not. It's just that's the objective truth, right? That there's a reason why he's still acting and not in jail. But at the same time, this is not going to be a review that is like, oh man, Ezra's a bad guy, so it's a bad movie. That's not how anyone should review a movie. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of Tom Hanks, but I love Toy Story, you know what I mean? So it's hard to do that. I get it. It's hard to disassociate and disenfranchise them. Disenfranchise them? You know what I'm saying? It's hard to, you know, take that one thing and not compare it to the other, right? But yeah, Ezra Miller's a bad guy. He's like the reverse Flash in real life. But is he good in this movie? Yes. In fact, this is, I think, Ezra's best performance. Not only in DC, but, you know, through Fantastic Beasts. I know Echo was like, oh, you're going to see Perks of Being a Wallflower. I haven't seen that. But the stuff that I have seen of him in it, I gotta say, he's good in this. And it's a good movie. Like, I was expecting it to be garbage and complete trash. Because, you know, you go online, you read all this stuff. And, you know, the director of this, Andy Muschietti or whatever, he was the guy, he's also directing the Brave and the Bold, the new Batman film and the new DCU. So it's a bit confusing, but basically, chronologically, I'm not sure about Aquaman 2 yet. But essentially, The Flash is the last, as far as I'm aware, the last DCEU film, right? So Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Wonder Woman 1984, The Suicide Squad, freaking Black Adam, all of this stuff is in the DCEU, the DC Extended Universe. The new stuff, starting with Blue Beetle, is going to be the DC Universe. So they're basically just taking out the E to rival the MCU. It's going to be the DCU versus the MCU. The DCEU is effectively no more. Without spoiling anything, it's basically the end. And look, to kind of round out the DCEU, I think they did a pretty damn good job. Now again, I'm one of those guys, I don't hate the DCEU. You know, you see online all this crap hate, and oh, that's horrible, and they really messed up, and they got to reboot, they got to do it again, it's horrible. I loved it. There are some that I love better than others. You know, I love Batman v Superman and you know, the Snyder Cut more than, say, Black Adam or Wonder Woman, but at the same time, I don't hate any of these movies. I think they're really, really good. So it does kind of suck that we are getting this refresh, and the fact that James Gunn is a great director. Everything I've seen of him, freaking awesome. Like, top-tier filmmaking work. But he is kind of an idiot, firing all these people and all that. It don't work. So the fact that this is kind of setting up the stage for this new universe, I think it works, you know what I mean? But again, the guy who directed this is, like I said, directing the new Brave and the Bold Batman film. He goes on Twitter or wherever, all right? He goes on and he's like, well, the CGI, it's supposed to be bad. Trust me. And look, at the same time, I've seen the movie, and Twitter is a cesspool of dog crap, okay? I don't know why the hell I'm still on Twitter. But for anyone who's smart enough to have Twitter installed, you'll know it is a cesspool of death on Twitter, all right? It's horrible. Sometimes it's good. A lot of the times it's complete booty cheeks. But most of the time, when this new Flash trailer came out, everyone on Twitter is like, oh my god, the CGI looks like shit. CGI is so bad. How could the CGI be this bad in 2023? And the director goes on Twitter, and he's like, oh, well, it's supposed to be bad, right? It's supposed to look like that because you're looking through the Flash's point of view, and it's all distorted because he's so fast. Now look, I actually saw the movie. Unlike the incels online who were like, it's horrible, and they're in their mommy's basement. I know I'm filming this in my mommy's basement, but you know what I'm saying. It's whatever. But in this, you get these people online that they haven't seen the effing movie, and because they're just rejects, they're just saying it's bad to say it's bad. You know, it happened with Star Wars. It's happening with Marvel. It's happening with this, and it's just people on the internet are stupid, right? You can't fix stupid. But at the same time, with this, actually seeing the movie, I don't know if that guy's telling the truth or not. I really don't, because there are moments in this movie that look good. And there are moments in this movie when the Flash, again, without spoiling anything, he goes in, the Speed Force and all that, and it's kind of like this distorted red, like, dimension zone area. It's in the trailer for a minute. And there are scenes, there are people, their faces and their bodies, it does look distorted. It does look a bit wonky. It looks like a early PS3 Sims 3 demo. You know what I mean? And that's not to say it looks like dog crud, but at the same time, it does. But that's the point, because in those scenes, yeah, that's Flash's point of view. We're in the Speed Force, or whatever the fudge is going on. We're in that demented, distorted reality. Now, there are moments outside of that. There's a few scenes with a few babies. You've probably seen it circulating on the internet, some babies. There's some other, like a dog, and there's that one scene in the trailer where Michael Keaton Batman's like, we try not to die. And Supergirl, Kara, whatever, she's like beating the crap out of these Russian guys in like the snow. And there's one shot where like she punches a dude in slow motion, and you see, but it just looks really bad. That stuff is not. That's not the Speed Force. That's not the Flash distorted stuff. That's just bad CGI. So if I were to start off with a negative, I would have to say to the Flash's worst negative, besides having Ezra in it, which again is not going to take. That has nothing to do with the overall score. I'm just joking, but the Flash's CGI is flawed, but that didn't take me out of the experience. So yeah, the distorted stuff does look a bit wonky. That's kind of the point. The stuff outside, like the babies and the stuff that has nothing to do with Flash, right? Just, Batman, for example, doing these crazy-ass moves that Michael Keaton is not doing. And it's just a CGI body double, right? There's a lot of that in this movie. There's scenes with Zod, General Zod, where Kara, Supergirl, is fighting Zod. And it just looks horrible. And again, it's quick. It's quick repetition shots. They don't linger on it too long. But with these glasses on, your boy is seeing in 20/20 vision. And I can see that don't look right. That don't look like a face. Something's not right here. So yeah, the uncanny valley is pretty friggin' wide in this aspect. And it does take you out of it just a little bit, when you're having a good time. And it's a good story and good acting and good special effects. And then there's that one time where it looks like poop and you're like, damn it. You know what I mean? One of the most expensive movies of the year, and they still mucked it up. Like, you can make time travel look great, but you can't make a baby's face look good. You know what I mean? Like, for God's sake, get a puppet or something, Jesus. But, yeah, so the only real negatives really are the CGI. I think that the story, again, it's hard to talk about this stuff because this is like an earth-shatter. If you call yourself a DC fan, I don't give a crap what you think about Ezra. I hate Ezra Miller. I hate him. But I still saw this movie. All right? I was on the fence, and my uncle was like, hey, you want to see it? My dad was like, sure. And I was like, okay, fine, because you guys want a review. And I love DC. So I'm like, whatever, I'll just suck it up. And, yeah, look, I mean, Ezra's a great actor in this. I mean, he's not like, Oscar-worthy, but he's good. He does a good job. For the most part, the special effects are fine. The story is basically, when you see the trailer, you'll know that his mom dies, and, of course, his dad's framed, right? We've seen this in Justice League. We've seen this in other stuff in this canon, in this continuity. So that's a point of contention in that, and that's kind of the big plot point. Flash tries to fix things. and he goes back in time and he kind of F's up a lot of reality, right? You see Bruce Wayne, Ben Affleck is like, hey, you do that, you're going to mess some stuff up pretty big. He's like, don't worry about it, it's fine. It wasn't fine, and he messed everything up. But I gotta say, though, this Flash movie is essentially a Batman movie, okay? I know that's a lot of things, but it works. Like, it works. Not it twerks. It doesn't twerk. It works. Ben Affleck Batman, I think he's always been a great Batman. He's my second favorite right after Robert Pattinson. But Ben Affleck Batman in Batman v Superman, that warehouse fight is still my favorite Batman scene probably ever. But the stuff he does in this movie, right? You see in the trailers, he's on the effing motorbike or whatever. He's in it essentially just to that degree. There's one or two more scenes he's in, but the stuff he is in, and the way that this Andy guy directed it, the way these shots are, the way they framed it, all the cinematography, it's some good Batman stuff. Like, it's top tier Ben Affleck Batman shit, and it's not even in a Batman movie. It's in the friggin' Flash. You know, it's crazy. So he's good. Michael Keaton Batman is fantastic. You guys know I've seen Batman 89 and Batman Returns. They're not my favorite DC movies. You know, they're kind of corny. They're of its time. They're of the 80s. You know, I never thought Michael Keaton was that good of a Batman. I mean, he was basically in like a fruit roll-up costume. He couldn't move his damn neck, so he's like this the whole time. You know, he looks like a robot. It's whatever. But you know, they were okay movies. Batman '89 is a solid film. The suit is terrible, but you know, he's also kind of a shitty Batman because he just walks into line of fire. Rewatch that movie, okay? He's not a good Batman, but at the same time, in this, it does feel good, right? He's doing moves, and again, look, it's clearly a CGI dude half the time, but it is a bit strange because, again, in the 80s, he's like this. And then in, like, freaking, you know, in this one, he's kind of like doing these flips, and he's kicking guys, and he's actually moving his head, so it's a bit wonky, but it works. You know, he's doing his, you want to get nuts, let's get nuts. Yeah, I'm Batman. He does his classic lines, and that's cool. But, you know, I think that is good. The Batman stuff in this movie is good, if not better than the shit that Flash does. It's kind of weird. But the stuff that Flash does do regarding him, you know, current Barry and younger Barry, as we see in the trailer, it's good. I mean, it works. You know what I mean? I think the plot is serviceable enough. I think it's really cool that they're kind of revisiting that Man of Steel area where Zod is kind of coming down. And because it is an alternate reality, right? You know, Flash kind of mucks things up in that regard. Obviously, we don't have Superman. We have Supergirl, Kara. She's good. Of course, it doesn't help she's really hot, but at the same time, she kind of has a weird haircut. That's not how she looks in the comics, but hey, she's hot, so that's cool. But she is a badass. She's just wrecking dudes, you know what I mean? She's fighting Zod, she's fighting Feora for Man of Steel. There's a lot of good fight scenes in this, and they're all really well shot. That leads me to the next point, the compositioning, the shots, the cinematography. It's freaking good. I mean, really, like, there's some good transitions here. Good editing across the board. At the very beginning, they have the logo of the Flash, and it's kind of like, you know, I don't want to ruin it completely. I think it's a little below the Evil Dead Rise title drop. If you saw Evil Dead Rise, you know what I'm talking about. It's a damn good title drop. But this film is just a little bit below it. It kind of fizzles in, and then Flash gets distracted, and it disappears. And then he gets ready to run again, and then it comes up. I mean, it's great editing. You know, it really, really is. I think it's definitely better than Black Adam in that regard. Black Adam had some kind of wonky editing half the time. This one felt better. It felt like a complete movie. This felt like a fantastic DC film to watch, just in terms of the cinematography. It was very, very good stuff. And, you know, when you're watching Batman, it's just, you know, whatever, you know, Batman fight a guy, the camera moves, and it's not like, you know, it's good action across the board. It's really, really good. Again, the transitions are really nice. I think it's really cool in that regard. Again, really the only thing that bring this movie down is that CGI. You know what I mean? And again, discarding what the director said about the whatever, but this is, you know, there are shots that are not related to the Flash's crazy distortion shit. It looks bad. It does, you know what I mean? And I don't know what happened. You know, I know the MCU has this habit of, the CGI is bad and whatever, but this just felt rushed, and it does take you out of it a little bit. But it's a very funny movie. It's a very almost depressing movie. I did cry a little bit. You know, Ezra's a good actor. I think all the other Batmans are good. The post-credit scene's good, so there's only one, but it's good. And yeah, man, Wonder Woman's in it for like 5 seconds, as you've seen online, again, as she always... They're like, hey, gal, you wanna be Wonder Woman again? Sure! Okay, we'll be in this movie for 5 seconds. Like, dude, what the fudge? You know what I mean? I don't get it. Wonder Woman, in every DC movie now, she pops up and she's like, hello, I'm here. Okay, bye. You know, it's like, whatever. But, you know, I guess she's hot too. I mean, she's a good actress. She's by far the best Wonder Woman. Henry Cavill was by far the best Superman, and James Gunn said, "Poop, shoot, you're out." So whatever. But all in all, though, this movie was very much shrouded in controversy because of Ezra, the CGI. The director comes on to explain it, no one effing believes him. So this movie has every reason to bomb. You have a horrible piece of shit human in the star, and you have kind of this weird director just. Why would you even go online and say, it's supposed to be like that? It's just weird. It just feels like he's trying to cover up for something. So, I gotta be honest, and I gotta be straight up, this movie does not deserve the hate. As a massive DC fan, and as a film fan in general, the movie is good. Is it the best DCEU film? No. But it does what it has to do. The good Batman stuff is there. The Flash stuff is there. It's a good story, good acting, good writing, nothing woke as far as I was concerned. It was just a good DC film. The end is pretty insane. There's a lot of crazy cameos in the end, so be sure to not get spoiled on that as I did. I Googled Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, and god dang, the Flash happens. I'm like, oh man. So be careful, all right? That's why I'm seeing Indiana Jones on June 30th. I don't want to get spoiled. But still, man, I am very, very excited to see what happens in this film that I just watched. I meant to say Indiana Jones in the Dial of Destiny, but I'm very much excited to see what happens in that movie, as I just mentioned. But regarding The Flash, it's a very good movie. Again, there's a few flaws. Really, the only negatives would have to be the CGI. Really kind of boggles it down a bit for me. But I'm going to give The Flash, let's see, it's kind of tough. I'm leaning on an A- or a B+, but I'm probably going to give it a B+, only because the CGI did kind of take me out of it a little bit. Again, I'm not like a really bad stickler for that kind of thing, but it is at the point where there were a few times where I was a little bit disjointed and literally thought to myself out loud, and there were even some moments where I was like, ugh, and that, like out loud. Like, it looks kind of jarring. But anyway, I'm very much excited that I did enjoy The Flash. I was expecting a complete pile of poop, but it ended up being one of the better DCEU films, and I'm very happy that it is good, and I'm very sad that it has to have Ezra in it as a good actor and a good character, but The Flash was never my favorite DCEU character. He's still not, but this movie made me care about him a hell of a lot more than if I hadn't seen it, you know what I mean? So this movie really did do a good job, I think, if you really strip it down, yeah, CGI is a bit weird, but I think the acting, the writing, the comedy, the plot, the drama, all of it really works, and I was expecting it to not work. Again, it does suck that Ezra is still breathing. No, it sucks that he's in this, but at the same time, it is kind of a weird situation that I'm in, because the internet will have you believe this is a garbage film. CGI is horrible, and whatever, and Ezra is horrible, and but if you are curious like me, and you're like, I like DC, and I want to see what happens, go and freaking watch it. You might like it. You know what I mean? It's that easy. If it looks good, or you're interested in it, I don't care if this has a negative 8% on Rotten Tomatoes. I would still see it. You know what I mean? Indiana Jones had a freaking 40. Now it's at a 60. I don't care if it was at a 2 or a 100. I would still watch it. You know what I mean? So Rotten Tomatoes is always full of trash. That's another video for another day. But again, I hope you guys enjoyed my review. Again, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you have not already. What do you think about The Flash without spoiling it? Down in the comments. Again, I'm going to give it a B+. I was shocked. I was surprised. And if this is truly the end of the DCEU, I think they did a pretty good job of wrapping things up. The ending is crazy, it's funny, it's sad, it is action-packed, it's fun, and it's just an exciting time. Thank you guys, and we'll see you in the next video.